All right, listen up, folks. We got a situation that's got me scratching my head and shaking it at the same time. Now, picture this: 500 million Europeans are asking 300 million Americans to defend them against 140 million Russians. Now, how does that make any sense to you? Because to me, it sounds like a classic case of, hey, Uncle Sam, come save us again. I'm not sure if I'm cool with that. Now, welcome back to Real News Podcast, y'all. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because we're about to break down what's going on here. Let me just show you a video so you know what I'm talking about.
Proszę Państwa, jest taki paradoks i ktoś słusznie zauważył, że i zobaczcie, jak to brzmi. 500 milionów Europejczyków prosi 300 milionów Amerykanów, żeby oni ich obronili przed 140 milionami Rosjan. Chcę się powtórzyć tylko te słowa. Umiesz liczyć, to licz na siebie, zacznij liczyć na siebie. Nie w odosobnieniu, ale z pełną świadomością własnego potencjału. Europa, jeśli czegoś dzisiaj nam brakuje, to przecież nie przewagi gospodarczej czy ludnościowej, tylko wiary w to, że jesteśmy naprawdę globalną potęgą. Proszę Państwa, jest taki paradoks i
Well, there you have it. There you have it. That just happened. Now, let's just start with the basics, all right? Numbers don't lie. Europe's got about 500 million people. The United States, we're just sitting around 300 million. Russia, roughly 140 million. So let's do the math real quick. Europe has almost twice the population of the U.S. and more than 3 times the population of Russia. I mean, come on. If we're just talking sheer manpower, Europe be able to handle their own business, right? I'm just saying. So why are they looking at us? 300 million Americans to be their shield against 140 million of Russians? Something ain't adding up. And I'm going to tell you why it ain't adding up. This whole setup just smells like dependency. To be honest. You know, Europe is saying, hey, America, you got the muscle, so why don't you step in and take care of this Russian problem for us? Meanwhile, they just kick back, sipping espresso and debating on EU regulations. Nah, fam. Nah, fam. Nah, fam. We not gonna do that. That's not how it works. We not doing that. We go dig a little bit deeper. Now, this whole thing ties back to NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Supposedly, it's a collective defense alliance, which I can see it kind of is. You know, an attack on one is an attack on all. It sounds good. It sounds really good on paper. But the little reality check, is that the United States is the backbone of NATO. We're the big brother who's always picking up the tab. We contribute the most troops. We contribute the most equipment. And here's the kicker. We also contribute the most money. Now check this out. Now the U.S. spends more on defense than all our NATO allies combined. combined. That's crazy. Y'all, and for what? So Europe can keep their cushy social programs, their 6 week vacations. 6 week vacations must be nice. And their universal health care. While over here, we're just splitting the bill for their security. Now, let me just hit you up on some facts. Now, the U.S. spends over 3.5% of our GDP on defense. That's around, I don't know, 700 billion a year, maybe. Now, NATO's got these guidelines saying every member should spend at least 2% of their GDP on defense. Now, guess what? Most of the European countries don't even hit that mark. Now, take Germany, one of the richest nations in Europe. In 2020, they were spending about 1.4% of their GDP on defense. 1.4. That's pathetic. And it's not just Germany. Plenty of these, plenty others are slacking. So while we're pouring billions into keeping the world safe, they're just sitting pretty. That just doesn't sound fair to me. I don't know. Does it sound fair to you? Let me know. Right, put it down in the comments. Now hold up. Don't get me twisted now. Now Russia ain't no pushover. You know, they got a serious military, they got tanks, they got jets, they got nuclear weapons, the whole nine. And if you've been paying attention, their actions of Ukraine show that they are not afraid to flex those muscles. Now, Putin's out here playing chess while some folks are still fighting out, just figuring it out, how to play checkers. So yeah, there's a real threat. And I'm not denying that. But here's my question. Europe's got the resources, the technology, the manpower to stand up to Russia. So why aren't they doing it? Why are they ringing our doorbell every time, things start to get a little spicy in that part of the region? Look at it this way. Europe's got some of the most advanced economies in the world. Germany, France, the UK. They've got cutting edge tech. They got skilled workers. And a population triple the size of Russia's. They could build a whole defense force that make Russia think twice. But instead, they like, nah. Hey, yo, Americans, come here real quick. Is it because they're just too busy arguing over Brexit or climate policies? Or maybe they're just, used to Uncle Sam, riding in on that white horse every time there's a sign of trouble. Newsflash, that horse is getting tired. Tired of shit. All right. Let's flip this to the American side. I'm all in for alliances, helping our friends, being a good neighbor. That's how I was raised. Pretty sure that's how a lot of y'all was raised. But there's a line. At what point do we say, are we being taken advantage of? Our taxpayers are funding these massive defense umbrellas for Europe. And what do we get back? A pat on the back? Thanks. Good looking out. Meanwhile, our roads are falling apart. Our veterans are struggling to get health care. And we're drowning in debt. I don't know about you, but this don't sit right with me. Because it just don't sit right with me. It don't. It's crazy. Now imagine this. Your neighbor keeps asking you to mow their lawn because they don't want to buy a new motor, a new lawnmower. Insane. First time, you're like, sure, all right, I'll help. Second time, you start getting annoyed. By the 10th time, you're telling them, yo, get your own dang lawnmower now. You need to get one. That's where we're at with Europe. We can't keep moving. We can't keep mowing the lawn on our while our own yard is just getting overgrown. It's time for them to step out and take some responsibility. Now, you know what? I know what some of you are thinking. Europe's our ally. We've got a duty to protect them. All right, fair point. Fair point. But alliances matter, right? Alliances are a two-way street. It's not just about protecting them. It's not about pulling their own weight. If you're not willing to invest in your own defense, why should we keep pouring our hard-earned money into it? They've got the cash. They've got the people. They've got the know-how. I guess they just need the will to do it. And I guess if we need to, be a little harsh and kind of push them and say, look, bro, you need to man up. So here's what needs to happen, Europe. Step up. Y'all need to do better. Meet those NATO commitments. Spend that 2% on GDP and honestly aim higher. Modernize your militaries, train your troops, and show Russia you mean business. And for us Americans, maybe it's time for us to start asking our leaders for some tough questions. Like, why are we spending billions overseas when we've got problems right here at home? Charity begins at home, folks. And here's the bottom line. Europe has got 500 million people. They do not need 300 million Americans to save them, especially from 140 million Russians. They've got the tools. They just need to use them. I'm not saying ditch our allies, but we've got to stop being the world's ATM at some point. They're all on welfare. They're just all welfare kings and queens right now. Now, to my fellow Americans, let's make sure our leaders put us first. And that's just my take. So what do you think? Should we keep carrying this load across the EU? I don't know. I don't think we should. I really don't. I don't think we should. So anyway, that's it for today. That's it for today, man. I'm done. Drop your comments, subscribe, like, and share this video. And don't be complacent. Be smart. And I'll see you in the next one.